Backyard Professor Chess videos. I'm excited to show this game to you guys that I played just recently. Queen Pawn. I've been practicing the Queen Pawn a little bit, trying to get the ins and outs of it. Here's what's significant about this game for me, personally. Now those of you who are in the 1900 to 2600 range, if those kind of people even watch my videos, aren't going to be so impressed with this. But I have discovered something personal because of my experience in this game that I am really very excited about. And I'm looking forward to showing this to you, to show you how this works. I've been trying like crazy to do what my chess coach, Jeremy Silman, has said to do in his books. Now, I call him my chess coach. I don't know him personally. I've never met the man. I wish I could. I would love to play some chess with him. I would love to take personal lessons. But through his books, through his printed materials, I like to liken him to my chess coach. He says, really, through time, the only real way to get to where you can comprehend this game, get to where you can read the chessboard and see what to do, is to play through tens of thousands of chess games by the masters, grandmasters, etc. Well, through time, if we're dedicated, we can do that. But this isn't just a month-long process and all of a sudden, ta-da, we're there, you know, we're a master at chess. This isn't even just a mere year process. This is a long-term goal. I've been looking through various master games. In my practicing of the Queen Pawn opening, I haven't been playing this next move, but I have seen it recently in some of the games I've been playing through, trying to learn how the good players play this. And the comments and the commentary on this next move have been very favorable. They've said this is actually a stronger move than some of the other moves that I've done. At this point, which is honestly a rather typical Queen Pawn opening, I have either gone here to e3. Now, I'm not making mistakes. I'm just not playing it as strong as it can be, right? See, this is the value of playing through the Master and Grandmaster games. I've been doing something like this, or pushing the a3 pawn or the h, or pushing that so I can, if the pawn takes the pawn, then the bishop can take the pawn on c4. I have seen some comments where some of the players will take the c pawn and take the d pawn first before the d pawn takes the c pawn. They say that is the way to do this also. But recently I've seen another move and I thought, okay, try it. Silman says if you're not going to try the things you're learning about, you won't know personally, right? So bishop to g5, pin the knight to the queen. Now, I haven't been playing it this way. And of course my opponent pushes the h6, putting the question to the bishop. Now, my thinking would have been the center, right? And I mean, I shouldn't say would have been. It always is, of course. But had I not played through a few of the David Bronstein games that I've been playing through, and a few more of the Alexander Alekin games that I've been playing through, I would have brought the bishop either back to here or back to here. Not an error, but the move I've seen recently with the comments is drop the bishop back to h4. So that's what I did. Now my opponent pushed the g5 pawn. So he is wanting to get my bishop out of there. So now I am virtually forced to put my bishop at g3. And I'm perfectly comfortable with this. I have seen games where the bishop comes up here to f4. And then when the other bishop comes up to challenge the bishop, this f4 bishop drops back to g3. So I have arrived at the g3 with the bishop through a different means, but I don't mind it because I've seen a very interesting development here that I rather like. Now, he takes the c4 pawn. The d takes the c4 pawn. So I didn't beat him to the punch of taking the d4 pawn. This isn't a crisis. This is an experiment. And I'm having fun with it now. At this point, I've seen in several commentaries and ideas in the games that one of the moves you want to do is get this pawn to e3 to give this pawn support. This pawn has support with my knight. Correct? Yes. So I thought, you know what? It might be interesting as an experiment to push the pawn to e4 and get more central space all the way up with all of my pawns. So this was my thinking when I played this move, and he's coming up the queen side. He wants to develop the queen side space. So this is kind of beginning to be fun for me. And now here's another move based on the queen pawn opening that I decided to experiment with that I have not done in so many of my practice games, which turns out really cool. I push the h4 pawn. My intention here is very simple. My opponent brings the bishop to b4, and that's usually one of the bishop moves that's black. My intention here with this a4 push is I want to open up this h file as an attacking file. And I've emphasized in some of my other videos, because of some of the games I've been playing through, of course, a lot of the masters and grandmasters come into the center files because, of course, that when they open up, you want your rooks on the center files. But I haven't seen a lot with the H files deliberately being opened, so I thought, okay, this will be a fun experiment. Let's check this out and see what happens. Well, he gave me the opportunity to open up the H file. H takes G5. And here we go again, see? Shirts, you're already worrying more about the side of the board, the wings, and you don't have a necessarily firm center. It's not locked, I'll put it that way. Well, my center is not in trouble, so I'm going to go on the wing. This is my thinking, right? This is how I'm trying to think. And no sooner than I think this, the knight takes e4. Here he comes, right in the center. And this is the proper response with a wing thrust. When your opponent starts doing wing, you want to hit the center. When your opponent starts doing the wing stuff, you want to hit the center. So my opponent's hitting the center, right? This is good stuff. But look at this position. Because my bishop is here on g3 and not down here on d2, where I've usually put it, I now have a great outpost right in the center to put my bishop, and that's exactly where I put that bishop in the center. His knight exchanges my knight. Now look at this. Now I'm kind of, see, this kind of a wing attack here makes me nervous. I can't help it, because you can see what's there, huh? You really can. You can see, oh, way to go, stupid. You really muffed this, because I'm going to get a nasty fork coming up. And I have no choice, because he's got the option of a discovered check. All he has to do is move this knight anywhere he wants. It doesn't matter where he moves it to. And he's got a check to the king, and he's threatening my queen to boot. So, uh-oh, did I blow this? No, I didn't, because of what I'm thinking. And again, I'm experimenting. The only way we're ever going to learn chess is to experiment, right? I mean, honestly. So I go ahead and take him with my pawn. Right, I got rid of the knight. Bishop takes knight at c3, and now the bishop takes the pawn at c3, check to the king, and he forks my rook. And you're going, way to go, stupid. That was not exactly the best chess move. However, bear with me, because in a Bronstein game that I played, it's okay if I lose that rook, because I have the open file. And you go, really, Shirts? You think that makes a difference? Yes. I truly do. That's why I'm so excited to share this video with you. Through my personal experience in this game, through learning the imbalances, through gaining more tactical and strategic ideas through the Master and Grandmaster games. Yes, this no longer freaks me out because I'm going to have compensation on this file. I'll show you. True story. This is fun. So, and now you say, well, yeah, but I mean, you're not going to move your queen there to stop check. So, of course, I lose the right to castle here. Also, way to go. You're not playing this right. Not necessarily true. Look what I have here. I'm threatening his rook too. I'm willing to exchange the rooks because my king's not in any real danger here. His bishop's going to be way down here out of the way, but my bishop is going to be on his king side. And I have an open file with my rook. And I've been studying how to combine, coordinate in an attack the rooks and the bishops. So I'm experimenting. I'm taking a risk here, but it's okay. I'm fine. And in fact, he moves his rook. So I moved my rook. So I didn't lose my rook. Well, he didn't lose his rook either. No, he didn't, but he lost something even more valuable. He pushed the H pawn, right? Trying to keep this file under control against my rook. But I have a wonderful situation here where I can take complete advantage of his position. Isn't that a great queen fork? Look at that. His bishop's unguarded. So is his rook. My queen forks both of them. I'm going to get a power. That's fun. That's cool to be able to see this because I'm studying tactics and my tactical insight is lacking. But I'm catching on. I'm getting there. It's taken some time, but hey, that's the essence of chess, right? Right. Trust me on this. So, he comes up to f6. Very interesting response, huh? You say, oh, hey, that's not bad. That's not bad because, yes, I have a chance to take a power, but if I do one of those, then he also is going to take a power. So I'm not going to be necessarily a power up, right? Or am I? Thanks to the idea of studying tactics, which I highly recommend, seriously, I have another option. And it's really cool how this works because I haven't given up the center control because I've been focusing on this wing and trying to open up this open file on the wing. I haven't lost center control. I actually have more power here because I'm the one with the options. Look at what I can do now. Bishop takes f6. And because of that, I'm threatening the queen, I'm threatening the bishop, and I'm threatening the rook. 3 powers of his are under attack now. Now, I don't know if I've ever had a game where I've been able to do this. So, at this point, I'm getting very, very excited for another reason too. He isn't castled, and his kingside is absolutely, completely obliterated. And I have a passed pawn, and he has an isolated E pawn. He's got targets all over the place. And the cool thing is, because of this particular, me putting this bishop here on g3 in the first place and opening up the file and so on and so forth, I have access to all of the targets all at once, it seems. Well, this is pretty exciting. I like this. So, the queen comes, centralization, powerful centralization. The queen comes zipping all the way up here to d5. And that's about as good as you can do for a centralized move. That's not too bad. However, I take a rook. And now look at this. I am in a fantastic attacking position. There is no question I am in a fantastic attacking position. The bishop pops back up here to b4, which of course I can take if I want to try to guard a little bit to get access to the king, right? So I can take a bishop if I so desire. And I've seen this in, who's the other one? Not Lipnitsky. Well, Capablanca has some games. Nimzovich has some games where sometimes position is more important than worrying about material. So I'm experimenting here with my position, not necessarily just trying to take all his material. Now, make no mistake about it. Hey, if you can take your opponent's material all over the place, then you're likely to increase the chance to win the game. But look, I have an idea to take the pawn at h5 and put the king in check. So I keep tempo, right? I've got the initiative here. His king goes to f8. This is going to be a complete blowout. There's no way I need to worry about being distracted with material. There's not a chance of me worrying about him finding some way into my king here. I've got this covered anyway with his bishop because the pawn's in the way anyway. He's going to have another move to get this bishop up into here. No, I am way ahead speed-wise because of my file. And this is what I saw in a couple of Bronstein's games. It was really exciting for me to put it into one of my games. This is what I was excited to show you. This is quite cool. Now, of course, Queen h8. There's no question. Queen h8, King f7. There's absolutely no question here. And now, Queen g7. There's absolutely no question here either. Queen g7, King goes to e8. And now there's absolutely no question either. Rook all the way on that beautiful open file to h8 check. The only thing he's got left is the bishop, and I've got him in mate. I love this game, not because it's Grandmaster chess, because it's not. I love this game because of my trying to practice a few openings many times. The queen pawn opening is one of them I'm practicing, right? And in the course of trying to figure out the ins and outs of it, by playing through the master games and the Grandmaster games, I've gotten some new ideas on where to place my pieces differently than what I normally do. And that's the beauty of this game. My bishop coming all the way up to g5 early in the game to pin that knight to the queen. That's one of the moves. And then not to put him back here, but to try to keep him in the field. And even though he was chased, keep him in the field to give me this angle. instead of being here, giving me this one. That was a new extra dimension. The idea of opening up my H file, not worrying about trying to centralize and get a central file, go to the very edge with that H file and open it up on the side, and I'll be darned if that didn't work. Now I'm going to try this in quite a few of my games now, in Chess Club and with my computer and with other people, because I want to see how I can develop this with different nuances, with different moves and strategies to see, does this work based on the particular positional situation? You have to read the board. If he is able to come into the center and do a strong center attack, you really don't want to be going off onto the wings. But he never did get any kind of central attack. Yes, he centralized his queen, but look at this board. Look at this finished position. Again, because I believe anyway, maybe you guys on further analysis will see something that I'm missing. That's not going to surprise me. But because I opened up the H file here, I gained the initiative to such a point that he couldn't even get half his army into this game. And you notice I got every piece into this game. Half of my army is on his side of the board at the end of this game. That's fun to see. That's cool. So anyway, there's your chessercise. Thanks for watching my chess videos. I love making these, man. I love making them because it reinforces ideas to me, and hopefully it helps a few of you. I know several of you have been saying thank you. They really enjoy it. Wonderful. I've got thousands more of these little babies I'm going to kick out in the next couple of years for sure. So happy chessercising, happy checkmating, happy learning, and happy experimenting. Don't be afraid to experiment. It's better to have tried and failed than not to have tried. That's what Silman says. Now, in my tournament a weekend ago, I attempted to do 2 kingside attacks and I failed miserably. But that doesn't mean I lost. That just means I lost 2 games. So what? Silman says I'm going to lose thousands of them. In the process of practicing the attack, I learn what works and doesn't work. I now have 2 key features, extra key features that I personally have not been using. The one feature is put my bishop up here to G5, and the other feature is open up the H file. As it worked out, those 2 features that I have seen in Grandmaster games, they worked for me. I suspect they'll work in yet future games of chess I play. So, that's my video. Thanks for watching, and that's right. You know it's coming. Wait for it. Wait for it. I'll see you guys in the next video.